So I wanted to welcome everybody to my Uncharted: The Lost Legacy crushing difficulty walkthrough. Just wanted to kind of clarify a couple things before we get started with this series. I do this with all the Uncharted games that I cover. I do not cover puzzle solving and navigation in this series. I feel like most people are not going to play crushing on their first run at this game. They're going to play on normal or easy or something like that, do their collectibles, and then most people are probably going to save the crushing difficulty for their last trophy. So that's kind of my mindset when I'm coming at this series, right? It's just covering the encounters, just so you know how to get through all the firefights and stuff like that. So I will not be covering puzzles and navigation in this series, but if you check my playlist for Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, I'll have it linked below in the description. It'll obviously have all the puzzles and stuff like that because there's trophies for a lot of these puzzles, and I've already got guides made for those. So if you need answers to those type of questions, just check the master playlist and that should be more than enough to take care of you. Now, something I did in Uncharted 4's hard difficulty walkthrough is I used the encounter select method to be able to just go to all the firefights and film my footage. It made it a lot quicker on my end, but some of the feedback I got from you guys was, hey man, we don't have the same ammo you have. We don't have the same grenade. You know, you might have 2 grenades because you did the encounter select and it spawned you in with 2 grenades, but I don't have any grenades when I got there. So what I'm going to be doing in this crushing difficulty walkthrough is playing the game from start to finish and trying to have the same kind of ammo counts, grenade counts as you guys have. Does that make sense? So at the end of each encounter, I'm going to be going around telling you what I'm picking up, how much of it I'm picking up, if we're going to be leaving the area with 4 grenades or 3 grenades or whatever. And that way it can be a little bit more, the continuity can be there when it comes to what you're playing in your own game. So I'm going to go ahead and make a cut right now in the edit and teach you guys how to get through this first encounter. It's fairly simple, guys. If you've ever played an Uncharted game, punch is obviously the square button, or kick, it's your action button, your offense. Triangle is what you press when they grab you, and O is what you press to dodge attacks. So what I'm showing you on screen right now is what I like to do to make sure that this fight is a breeze, and that's to run away from the enemies. I go up there by that pink lotus sign and it forces them to kind of form a train, right? They're all kind of in a row. The cool thing about this game, 2 things actually, is one, you have the ability to do a jumping attack. Most of the time it's going to be a punch. And what happens with that is you run toward an enemy, and when you get, when you get a pretty good distance away, and you can judge the distance based on the video that you're watching, you simply press square, and instead of being right up in front of the enemy pressing square and just punching with your feet set to the ground, you do a jumping attack and you hit them and it knocks them back. And you'll even notice that sometimes in this clip that because they're in a line, if you hit that first guy, then the first guy bounces back and the second guy is forced to grab him. Does that make sense? To keep him up? And then it kind of isolates one enemy because they're busy, right? And it brings one guy out. So you're kind of fighting one at a time at that point. And if you ever feel like you're going to get caught with an attack, then as soon as you do that jumping square attack, just simply back roll and run again. And you can keep running around this area. There's 2 sets of stairs on both sides. You just keep going around and around and around, running back toward that train of enemies, hitting square. Like I said, get your attacks in, and over time you'll eventually kill the enemies, right? After so many of those attacks, you'll kill them, take them out. Remember, once you get to the last enemy of that first set of 3, Nadine automatically comes in and lends a hand. And then when it comes down to the second set of 3 enemies, you simply do the same thing, guys. In fact, you don't even have to do too much in that second set. You're seeing that on screen right now. It is possible to just run around the area and let Nadine take them out for you. Does that make sense? And that should make that encounter fairly easy. So that should take care of chapter 1, guys. I'll see you in chapter number 2. You guys be good.